Hello, gay men, and welcome to another episode of Coming Inside Out. I'm your host, Mark Dembo, along with my co-host, Brian Janes. How are you today, Brian?
Mark, I am good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. It's been a few weeks since we've had a chance to record, and here we are just a few weeks away from the Christmas holiday and December 10th as we're
Yes.
recording this today. And it's been,
Yes.
I think 3 or 4 weeks since we did our last episode.
It's been a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm noticing I had a tank top on before the recording and I put on a shirt. You're wearing a sweater. It's
Yes.
like 83 degrees here today. I'm going to go lay up by the pool after this recording, and you're wearing a
Well,
sweater. So,
it's warmed up here today. I think it's 40 degrees today. It's been a
oh,
bit
there you go.
chillier. Yeah, winter is fastly arriving in New York. Yes.
Yes. So
Yeah.
is our SoCal winter.
Yeah, well, I'd say fuck you, Brian, but
Yeah.
this is, we keep this podcast clean.
Oh my.
Well,
Well,
and speaking of being in Southern California, unfortunately, I was not able to make it out there I know there's a big get together this past weekend, but I know a number
yes.
of close friends were out there, and sounds like it was a great time
Mm,
by all.
what an amazing weekend. There was several people. There's probably maybe 10 people from out of town. A couple flew in from across the country, but it was really nice. We went down to WeHo on Friday night. We just kind of bar hopped, hung out, had some great conversations. And then we had a holiday party gathering with probably, I would say, 30 dads at least, and a mix of other people. But what a great time. I met some guys that are new to the group that are in the process of coming out. So it was nice to just talk to those people, hear, their fears, their anxieties of where they're at in the
Yeah,
process, and just welcoming them to the group.
nice,
So,
nice.
yes, it
Yeah,
was great. And you were missed.
I know. I'd really wanted to make it out there, and unfortunately, just given timing of some things, I wasn't able to. As you know, over the past several weeks, one of the reasons we hadn't been able to record, unfortunately, I lost my father just
Yes,
about 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago,
yes,
and that certainly took a little bit of my attention over
yes.
the past several weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
Mark, I would love to ask you a couple of questions about that if you're open to it.
I am indeed, of
All
course.
right. I know that you came out to your dad before he passed,
Yeah.
and that was very impactful in your life. I know that a lot of our listeners, maybe some have, some haven't, some are on the fence, some would love to, wherever they're at in it. Would you be willing to share a little bit about that process with us? How old your dad was, his
Sure.
response?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And I may have shared some of this before, but I'd say one of the things with his passing that it's really made me reflect on over the past couple of weeks is my own mortality
Mm,
and living life as fully as we can
yeah,
while we can. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional as I think about
yeah.
it. And for me, it just emphasizes or re-emphasizes this whole process of being able to come out and live. So my dad was 87 when he passed. Unfortunately, he'd been in declining health over the past few years, and then really over the last couple of months had really taken quite a bit of decline. Was in and out of the hospital, and it's still never easy, right? As he lived a good full life, but it's still always hard. And as I said, it just really has been reflection on my own mortality. I did come out to him.
What was your anxiety level when you were contemplating and making the decision of coming out to him?
Um, for me, and I know again it's different for everybody. It wasn't that I had a high level of anxiety because his health had been declining. He had some dementia, some cognitive issues. Part of my hesitation was, would he comprehend it
Okay.
fully, and would it really make a difference? But I ultimately, and I would say when I did tell him, it was about maybe about 8 months ago. He was down in Florida. I was there visiting. Um, and it was kind of a spur of the moment decision. We were just kind of talking about life, and he was commenting on, quite honestly, how he was not expecting his life to be where it is at this stage, kind of in declining health, living in an assisted living facility, losing a lot of his independence. And I don't know if it was a matter of, wanting to, kind of commiserate, like, yeah, you think you got it bad.
No.
Let me tell you what's going on with me, kind of thing. But I led into it at that time by telling him that my wife and I were separating. She'd been a part of the family for over 30 years, and he
Yeah.
loved her like a daughter. He still does. I mean, he did, while even then, he still didn't stop loving her just because we were separating. And that kind of, led me to tell him. And the reason we were separating is because I'm gay. Of course, his first response when I told him that, he was like, "No, you're not." And I said, "Yeah, Dad, I am." And he said, "How do you know?" I was like, "Trust me, I know."
Yeah. Experimentation.
Exactly. I know. But it took him. He responded very favorably. His biggest concern was really around the fact that we were separating,
Mm.
because again there was such a close bond. But he really came to understand and respect it. I mean, we had a few conversations about it. Subsequently, he would ask, "How are you doing with everything?" And essentially, he said, "I'm glad that you're able to live your life."
Oh, very
So
nice.
I am
Okay.
glad I had the chance to tell him. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm happy for you too, and I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yes, but it
Yeah,
just another level of living your authentic self is
right.
being able to tell him and being clean
Yeah,
with where you are in life with him. So
yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah. And I think sometimes when I talk to other guys going through this process, there can be such fear
Yes.
about each step. Just earlier today, I saw a post on our Gay Fathers Worldwide site from somebody kind of talking about their journey and where they are, and essentially saying, I don't know what to do next. I
Yes, I
want to be
saw
out.
that too.
I want, and so much of what often holds us back is fear. It's the fear of the
Yes.
unknown.
Yes.
And one thing I've learned is that we can build up such fear in our minds that usually the reality is much less than what we actually fear,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 100%.
And I try and live this every day, right? Take those small steps and ask yourself, what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Yes.
What's the likelihood that worst thing is going to happen? And
Yeah.
even if it did happen, could I survive that? And then
Yeah.
you decide what to do. So in this
Yes.
case, yeah, I'm glad I did tell him and took that step. Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah, it takes courage, but also it allows you to live that much more clean,
Right. Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
well, listen, I want to share with the listeners really quick. Mark went above and beyond printed up a 6-page outline for our podcast, which I so much appreciate. There's so much good stuff in here. So I want to dive into some of this with you because it has been a couple weeks since we've spoken, and
Yeah.
we recently had Thanksgiving. We're coming up onto the Christmas season. So why don't you kick us off, Mark, and tell us, what's been going on with you, obviously, other than your father's passing. Uh, what else has been going on?
You know, as you said, Brian, kind of leading into, what we thought we'd kind of theme some of our discussion around today is the holiday season.
Yeah.
Um, all of us at different stages, for me, this is the first holiday season I'm going through since I've been separated. I know it's been a few more years, for you and for our listeners. Wherever you are on your journey, the holiday season can be, everybody always thinks about it as this joyous time of
Mm,
family and celebrations. And it can be really hard. It can be joyous, but it can also be really hard, or sometimes all of that, all at once. So, yeah, I think what we wanted
mm,
to kind of focus on is some of that and share what each of us might be going through right now.
mm. Unfortunately, I cannot wait for the holiday season to be over. I can't
Mm,
wait. I'm not looking forward to it. Other than this past weekend going out with the gay dads group, I've shared with you, I'm struggling. I don't want to beat a dead horse with that. I've shared with you, I walk my dog at night. I kind of come up with a question to ask myself as I'm walking my dog because I am just soul searching for some clarity in my life and some understanding, and I do my best every day to just wake up and be present. So, I don't know, the holidays, I'm struggling with it, buddy.
yeah. So, how'd you spend Thanksgiving?
At my sister's house. At my sister's house. I will share with you, I had a great experience with some of the men in my dad's group. There was a birthday party that happened, and the two people, one of them, it was their birthday, the other one organizing it, a great couple, both previously married to women with children, go to this birthday party, and both of their exes were there with their children, one of them with their new spouse. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. My ex is very much a part of my family. My parents, my siblings have all known her for over 30
Mm-hmm.
years.
Sure.
So when we have a holiday gathering, she's always there. She has a new boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend recently moved in together. So I thought after this party, I'm like, wow, I wonder, I've never met him. I don't know what he's doing for the holidays. I know that his family's from out of state. So I was just very, not just curious in a kind way. Hey, what is your boyfriend doing for the holidays? Oh, I don't know yet. His family's back east. And I said, oh, have you thought about bringing him to my sister's house? So we had a conversation about that. Ultimately, she did not feel comfortable inviting him, which I can understand, but I'm open to that. I am so open
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
just being and living free. I don't
Yeah.
want a bunch of hangups in my life anymore.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, I just spent it. My kids were there, my ex was there, kind of just grounded myself and just
Mm-hmm.
stayed present in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And how so even though her new boyfriend wasn't there for Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
when you're in those situations where she's there,
Yes.
how do you feel? Like, what's your, how do you feel, from an emotional standpoint? Is it comfortable? Is it
Mm.
uncomfortable? Are you,
I will tell you this. Maybe I've shared something along these lines before, but my body is alive when I'm around her because our bodies had such a connection. I feel like our souls had a connection. I feel like we had a rhythm. our bodies had a rhythm that bounced off of each other. So when my body is around her, my body, my heart, it feels very alive. My thoughts are, I'm sad and upset, that here's a person that my body is sending a vibration to, if that makes sense to you or not. But I don't know. It's a mixed bag for me, because I feel like I want it to be different than it is, but I know that it can't be different than it is. And part of me is maybe because I haven't moved along far enough in my process. I was sharing with one of the dads over the weekend. I feel like I'm in a gay adolescence. I don't feel like I've gone through my gay puberty yet. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me, why it's taking so long. But that's kind of where I'm at with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you feel so? And it's been what? How many years for you now?
5 years, almost 6 years.
5 years.
Yeah, almost six
So,
years.
so if you look at, let's say, this Thanksgiving
Yeah.
versus the first one
The
since
first one I didn't
you
attend.
came out or you guys split.
The
Okay.
first one I didn't go to. The first one I took my dog to the beach and I spent the day by myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Probably two of the
Okay.
five. Two of the five I spent alone.
So if you look at the ones where you've been there, do you
Yes.
feel like, is there any shifting of how you feel in that space?
Absolutely. I feel like an outsider in a
Mm,
lot of ways. I feel like the outsider.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't think she feels like the outsider, which she shouldn't. Neither should I, but I do.
I get it.
But I don't share a ton. First of all, I don't think people want to hear it. And second of all, my story and where I'm at is sacred to me. And I'm only going to let people into that I trust, and that I would value, I don't know, feedback, something. I don't know. I'm not looking from that from my family. And I don't think I'm open to even hearing or caring what their opinion or feelings are. Not to be mean, but that's where I'm at.
Well, you've got to choose whose opinions, whose things matter, right?
Yes.
Um, but I totally understand that sense of feeling like an outsider. For me, Thanksgiving this year, first Thanksgiving since we've been
Yes.
separated, and it was a real mixed bag for me as well. Actually, no, I'm going to rephrase that. It was not a great day for me.
It wasn't, yeah, well, okay, for a couple reasons, but
And excuse me,
that's all right.
I'm
I'm going to mute all that out anyway, so don't worry about it.
yeah. It was not a great day for me for a few reasons. One, it had been not even 2 weeks since my father had passed away, so I wasn't in the mood for a large get together.
Yes.
And as long as we've been together, we'd always been going to this large get together of close family and friends on her side, where over the years, this has grown to multi-generational, 30 plus people
Mm-hmm.
gathering. Very festive, all wonderful people. Um, but to your point, I really felt like an outsider. And there were a lot of things going through my thoughts. One is, everybody knows what the situation is and what's going on. So it's not like there were secrets, but to me, there still feels like or felt like there was this elephant in the room because people don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one, there was, okay, the loss of my father. And, many people who are aware of that certainly, gave me their condolences. But then about everything else, right? Here we are. We all showed up together as a family. And yet they know we're not in terms of, living,
Yes.
we're separated. And I felt like I had to take a step backwards into playing a role that no longer fits me.
Mm. So you didn't show up as you today, you showed up as you last year, two
Just
years ago.
mentally, right? It's not like there
Um,
was any, right. Because suddenly it's like, wait a minute, this is the role I played at Thanksgiving for, 30 plus years.
yeah.
I'm there as the husband, it's like
Yes.
not this gay guy who's attending Thanksgiving, right?
Yes. Yes. That
And,
makes a lot of
and,
sense.
and I also find there's just not a lot of common ground.
Mm.
My life has moved in such a different direction
Yes.
of just things to talk about. So it
Yes.
was a tough day. And I had thought about this beforehand, like, how am I going to get through the day? So part of it is drink heavily. No,
Yeah.
you know, uh,
Drink and smoke a lot of weed.
yeah, right. Yeah, I had a few glasses of wine, but no, but there were a number of times I was like, you know what? I just need to go off and find my own space.
Yes.
A number of times I just quietly got up, went outside for a few minutes, took a little walk, and just kind of said, okay. And then also just reminding myself, well, wait a minute, I'm there for the family. I'm there for everybody else. And just put it aside for the one day. It was hard though.
Yes. Yes.
It
I
was
get
hard.
that. Putting it aside and just being in the moment. Yes. I have times where I
Yeah.
show up and I have to remind myself, wait a second, just be here. Just go
Mm-hmm.
with the flow and, be your authentic self, but within the parameters
Right.
of why you're here and what you're doing. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and some
And
of it, a lot of my thoughts is, well, how much of this am I putting on myself versus what others are really even thinking?
yes.
Because how much are we're thinking about ourselves and everything. Most people are like, they're not focused on us, right? They're focused
Yes.
on
Yes.
themselves.
They're saturated with their own thoughts in their own head about, yes, what's going on with them. So, yes, I totally
Yeah.
get that too.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
Well, so it's nice that you were able to spend this time with your family. So I think a lot of people right now are struggling with either
It's hard.
not
Yeah.
having the time with their kids. I see sometimes where people are posting that things are happening in their families and they're recognizing they're not getting invited to these things
Yeah.
or so yes, I think we both are blessed with the fact that we have that family dynamic that we can still come back to.
And that's it as well, right? I mean, I also recognize not everybody has that opportunity to be
Yes.
able to do those things. I spoke with or heard from a number of other guys that were doing friendsgivings, right? Getting
Yes.
together with
Yes.
with friends and doing things like that. And sometimes too, we put so much energy into these holidays that it's becomes artificial almost, right?
Yeah.
Because there's so much, you got to
Yes.
have all the, it's,
Yes. Yes. And for me, I think if I didn't have a large family that I could fall back onto, maybe I would feel differently. I guess I take for granted that I have that, to fall back onto versus if I was truly all alone versus making myself alone. I spend a lot of time making myself alone when there's no
Mm.
reason for it. But I have a hard time. I don't like a lot of the chatter, the noise, the superficialness that goes on, and it feels more comfortable to be alone sometimes. So and
But
process
it's
it.
being alone. But sometimes being alone isn't a bad thing.
No, I think I spend too much time alone compared to other people, but that's something, that I'm working on. So,
See,
mm,
but is comparing yourself to other people the right thing to do?
no, no. I beat myself up enough. I don't need to compare myself to another person
Exactly.
to add more
Exactly.
to it.
Right. Right. That's
But
exactly right.
yes, sometimes we just need to get out of our own way. Mm. Hey, Mark, I want to bring something up real quick with you. A couple weeks ago, I shared that, bring something up to the listeners also. A couple weeks ago, I shared with you that we had a woman write into the podcast. She had stumbled across our podcast on, I don't know what platform it was. She sent us an email that several years ago, she caught her husband, I think it was engaging in something that could have been gay porn. I don't remember. She questioned him, but he dismissed it. Several years later, she kind of got the same sense. She wrote into the podcast asking for some advice or to talk to us, and we referred her and said, "Hey, listen, find a therapist." But wow, I mean, there's people out there that even when think we think we have everything under control, that on the outside the reality is that somebody kind of has a sneaking suspicion that something's going on, right? They're writing into the podcast, they're sharing that whoever their husband is thinks that he is concealing what's going on with him, when in reality he's not. And I think that, a lot of men lived in that transition. Some of them were caught, some of them came out. But if there's any other listeners out there, because I wasn't expecting the wife of somebody who thinks that their husband is closeted gay to be listening to the show, we'd love to hear from you. Obviously, we're not going to give you advice on anything, but if you're in that same position, know that you're not alone. As the wife, also, like we as closeted gay men thought we were all alone for a while, these
Right.
women are not alone either.
No, that's so true. And as to your point, Brian, look, it's not for us to give advice. We are not trained mental health professionals, and always want to be very cognizant of that. We're here sharing our stories, our experiences, and I think sometimes just hearing and knowing you're not alone. Everybody's story is different, as we say all the
Yeah.
time, but hearing those stories. So if this podcast is helpful, or other resources out there, there are some other podcasts as well that kind of cover some similar ground. Hopefully, it's helpful for people. It is, and when you look at some of the uh, emails that we get, comments that we get, to your point, somebody who's a wife that's concerned about her husband is listening. We've heard from guys that are in their 20s and just starting their coming out journey. They've said, "Hey, I found your podcast, and
No.
while my situation's different, it's helpful for me." And to me, when I hear from people like that, it just reinforces that this journey of coming out, of stepping into yourself, of finding your true self, of being your whole self, is challenging at any stage in life, because we're not doing what society expects. And
Yes.
even though in today's world it can be easier, by and large, the world is more accepting than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's still difficult.
Yes. 100%. One of the things that I'm so grateful for in this dad's group is, I said people came from across the country to come to this holiday event that we had over the weekend here in Los Angeles. A couple of the guys I had met 2 years ago. When you're vulnerable with somebody and you share your story with somebody, 2 years had passed. When I saw them this weekend, it was like we just talked on the phone 2 days
Mm-hmm.
ago. You
Yeah.
just immediately reconnect with each other. You're just like in this, I don't know, this vibe or whatever it is, this flow with each other. And the conversation just picks up and continues to go on. A couple of the guys just really shared, and I'm not patting ourselves on the back, but just really shared how much they appreciate the podcast, how much they appreciate, you and I being vulnerable, having these conversations. And I don't know, it just feels really good that at some level we are having an impact on other people's lives.
Absolutely. I
Right?
mean, it's not like you and I are getting rich off of what we're doing
No,
here.
no. But had we
Wait,
not
what?
come out, yes, had we not been vulnerable, had we not allowed ourselves to live our truth, we wouldn't be doing this. I didn't see this
No,
3 years
exactly.
ago. You didn't see this a year ago. It's
Absolutely.
like s-
I d-
so much
exactly. I mean,
good.
it's
Yes.
if you had told me 2 years ago that this is where I'd be right now and what we'd be talking about, I would have said you're absolutely crazy. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Promoting a
It
gay
is
father's
really
podcast.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And speaking of I'm just I'm gonna put a little kind of plug in here.
Right.
Speaking of gay fathers get-togethers, because we'll release this podcast in the next day or so. On December 19th, for any
Yes.
gay dads in the New York City area, we're actually having a get-together. We'll be going out for some holiday cocktails and dinner. So if there's any gay dads in the New York City area that are listening, shoot us an email cominginsideout@gmail.com and we can get you the details for that. But we're trying to, just as I know Gay Fathers in LA has a really nice community, we're trying to build a little bit more of that community here in the New York City area as well. So we'll be having a little
Very
get together
nice.
then.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so you have on here single versus partnered holiday experiences. You are partnered, are you not? You have a boyfriend.
Yes, I do. Yes, I
All
do.
right.
Yes.
How is that going, Mark?
Well, speaking of the holidays and experiences, so I will be. So we're long distance. He lives about 5 hours away,
All right.
but I'll be going there over the holidays. And that will be, again, I mean, look, for me, I don't traditionally celebrate Christmas, but just the holiday season and being together, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be just casual and quiet. But there is also a sense of, because it's the first time, it does bring up a lot of feelings of what was and what isn't anymore, right?
Yes.
I'll go back, just going to go back on Thanksgiving, kind of along those lines. On Thanksgiving Day, I talked about that. But one of the things that we always did as a family, since our kids were little, we'd wake up Thanksgiving morning, 9 o'clock, TV goes on, and we watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day
Oh,
Parade.
yeah.
That right? I mean, minor thing, but it became a
Yes.
family tradition. We'd make a
Yes.
fire, everybody would watch the parade. I'd make pancakes, and then because we weren't hosting Thanksgiving, it would be kind of and then we all get ready and we get in the car and we go. That was kind of our tradition for since the kids were 2-3 years old. all of a sudden this year it's different. Just that Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
I felt that. I felt that loss.
Mm. Yes.
What I've also learned to do, and I have to remind myself of this all the time, is I can feel that. It's like, it's okay to feel that,
Yes.
but not turn that into feeling guilt or shame.
Yes. Don't get lost in it. Feel it, but
Right.
don't get lost in it. Right?
Yeah.
Mm. Well, so with
So as I
your
think
new,
about kind of going into these holidays, I'm going to feel some of that as well. Yeah.
yes, 100%. So with your boyfriend, I don't have a boyfriend, but if I had a boyfriend, I feel like my level of vulnerability with that person would be greater than what I had with my wife. Obviously, because I wasn't 100% authentic with who I was, my wife was robbed of some of who I was. Are you seeing that there is a depth or a different level of sharing or connection with your boyfriend than you were able to experience with your wife? Not the love, because you could love each of them uniquely and to the same
Yeah.
depth,
Yeah.
but just how you're able to come, how you're able to present, be in the relationship. Do you see a difference with that?
Wow. That is a great question. That really I and I'd say that that's a multi-layered there's a
Yes.
multi-layered response there, I think. Because what I there is definitely a depth and degree of openness and vulnerability that I have with him and that I think he's able to have with me that I didn't feel I had before, but I didn't realize I didn't have it before
Yes. Yes.
because I was I was so hiding so much of myself. I went through life with this armor around me
Yes.
that I couldn't allow myself to be truly vulnerable. So now I'm able to be much more vulnerable in ways I never could be before, let that armor down. So, yes, I definitely am able to do that with him, but I think I'm also able to do that in other areas of my life where I couldn't before.
Yes. And we've talked about that. You're sharing on
Yeah,
LinkedIn, you're networking, the
exactly.
different things
Yeah,
you do on
yeah,
different levels. But yes, so in your relationship, you are definitely noticing a new depth, a new experience.
yes, yeah,
Right. That is
yeah,
that's good to hear. That's
yeah.
puts a smile on my face. Yes. I would like that. I feel like I have a lot to offer. I have, I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of journaling, I do a lot of processing. I think that at least in my opinion, I'm the best version of myself that I have ever been. I would love to
So
share that with
do
somebody.
we need to turn this podcast into a dating service for you,
No,
Brian? Is that what I
no.
think,
I
should
think
we
I'm
have
too think I'm too picky. I don't know. I don't know if I'm too picky or
Well,
if I just want the one to be the first one rather than having to, there's
all
having
right.
to
So
sift
I don't want to
through.
like, start trying to therapize you here, but what are the barriers that are getting in your way?
Authenticity, a person, well, first of all, most of the people that I see or interact with, unfortunately, there's a component of social media involved in it some way or another. It's a dating app. It's
Mhm.
a online group. It's something, whatever it is. That's the bulk. I don't spend a lot of time at gay bars. I don't spend a lot of time hanging out in gay areas. So I don't know. I just don't find the connection with, first of all, I'm picky as far as the type of man I want to be with to begin with. Appearance
So,
wise, height wise,
all right.
age
So
wise.
here's what I'm going to say, and you can tell me to shut up, and it's none of my
Go ahead.
business.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree with you. Look, the apps can be incredibly toxic. I mean, if going to gay bars isn't your thing, okay, that's not your thing, right? Okay. But, and I'll just preface this, but we always say it's not for me to give advice,
Yeah.
but you have to say, you have to try and you don't have to do anything. Again, you can tell me to shut the fuck up. But if you want to try and meet people, you need to find the ways to, in some way, put yourself out there. We were talking about before, taking risks. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Listen, my boyfriend, we met on Grindr.
Yes, this happens.
So what I'm saying is, right, it happens. It happens. And I'm trying to encourage you, take the small steps. Say, where can I go? It may not, and maybe you have to work on letting go of whoever I meet at the outset has to be the perfect one, because you're never going to find
No,
the perfect one if
I'm
you
open
don't
to a
find the
friendship.
imperfect ones.
I'm open.
Or
I'm open to just,
recognize that none of us nobody's perfect.
yes. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to meet a new great friend out of all of this. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
And through other absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm just trying to
I
encourage you.
fall
You know what?
back on
Take the small steps.
I fall back on
Sorry,
that
go ahead.
which is meant for me will not miss me. If it's meant for me, it will find me, is what I fall back on. So I think to myself, okay, I don't want to be searching. I want to be attracting versus searching. So I want to put an energy and a vibe out there that I am attracting into my life what I want. I feel like I do that. The apps, I think, for myself, and maybe we've spoken about this before, vibrationally, they feel a little low vibrational for me. I don't care who you
Yeah.
are, what you do.
Yeah.
You
I get
got
it.
kinks, you like this, you like that. I don't give a shit. Most of that isn't for me. I don't judge you for that being your thing. It just doesn't resonate with me. And I just don't find that I connect with high vibrational men on Grinder or
Yeah.
Scruff or these other apps.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
tried Meetup and like different meditation groups and a cycling club and different things like that. I don't know. This person has not come to me, and I ask myself all the time, why? What am I what am if my focus is on finding this person, what am I not focusing on that maybe I should be focused on? So then I try and take my attention off of it, because I think if I'm seeking it, it's not I'm not going to find it. I need to attract it. So I kind of try and, much as I can, not have it be stapled to my forehead every day. If that makes sense. But I would love that connection. I would love that connection.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
Small steps, baby. Small steps.
yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean? Cycling club, or you go to something. You know what? You strike up a conversation with somebody. It's like, hey, let's grab a cup of coffee. Let's grab a drink. Just have
yeah.
casual conversation.
I prefer
But
somebody
it's
to.
tough. It is. It is. I'm not trying to. And I'm not trying to belittle. The challenge. Right. It's tough coming out later in life, and it's like, how do you meet people? Where do you date? How do you have? It's hard.
Yeah.
It is not. So I'm not trying to belittle the struggle. Right.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Well, this
Just got to
past
take the
weekend we
small
went to
steps.
WeHo. We went to West Hollywood, which is a hotbed, mostly younger gay people. I would go there in the past and be like, "Oh, I hope I meet somebody. Oh, I hope I find somebody to talk to." And I'd always come home disappointed. And I'd be like, "Damn it. Why did I put myself in that situation, in that environment? I'm coming home disappointed because something didn't happen." This past time we went, I told my buddy, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm going there with negative expectations. I'm going there not expecting to meet or talk to anybody. I had a great time. I didn't talk to anybody except the people I went with, but
Let
I
go
had
of
a
the
much better
expectations.
time.
Exactly.
I had a
Right.
much better
No.
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I've found, kind of going back to what we were just talking about too, just like vulnerability and putting yourself out there, I've found a fundamental shift for me in all kinds of situations is like if I'm going to a networking event or a social event, um, I feel much more comfortable. And part of it is because I can go and just say, I'm just going to be myself without expectation. And if somebody
yes.
doesn't like me, okay, whatever.
Yes.
And there's
Yes.
something, again, since being out and just feeling more comfortable in who I am, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I like
I
that.
know
Just,
I'm a
let go of
good
the
person.
expectation.
I know I'm a good person. I know I'm
You are a
worthy.
good person.
I know I bring a
You
lot
are,
to
and you are worthy.
relationship. Yes. So at some point in time, I'm
Yeah.
hoping,
Yeah.
because some people stay single for I don't know how long, forever. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to me, but I've kind
Well,
of, I don't know.
and that's all matter,
Yeah,
some people are
this
very happy
holiday,
being single.
I feel like I thrive in a relationship, or I thrived in a relationship. And that's what, I don't know. That's what I want for myself.
Yeah. So, all right. And again, not to jump in here, but I'm just going to offer,
Yeah.
is there a way to shift your perspective? Right? You were saying you thrived in a relationship. If
Yes.
that was the old you in a
Yes.
different life, what if you worked on saying, "Hey, let me just let go of that.
Hmm.
Do I need to be in a relationship? Do I not need to be in a relationship? Does that even matter? Just
Yes.
if if letting go of the goal is I have to find a relationship versus, hey, I just want to meet people.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
No agenda, right?
Yes. We have talked about this. When my wife and I first separated, and I would have only seen my kids 50% of the time, at that time in my life, I was going out to dinner by myself. I was sitting at a bar in a restaurant, having dinner, or watching a football game, watching a baseball game. For the first time in my life, I was doing things by myself, and I wasn't uncomfortable doing it. I went to the movie by myself. I have lived to do a lot of things by myself, not
Yeah.
begrudgingly, not, lonely. I take good care of myself. I walk my dog, I cycle, I go to the gym, I do all kinds of things. And I love that I have the freedom to do that. I wish I had somebody to share that with, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But in the
Yeah. I get
meantime,
it.
I'm not sitting here in bed eating a box of chocolates, although I would like to. I'm living my life. I'm just living it, feeling like there's a component missing from it.
Yeah.
And that's enough of
Yeah.
Brian and his loneliness.
Well,
Oh, Mark. All right, listen, you have on here gratitude in times of transition.
yeah. So
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you're grateful for right now.
there is, even in the most difficult of times, there's a lot we can be grateful for, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
easy to spend so much of our time bitching and complaining about all the things that are wrong, and I'm not immune to that, certainly, but
Yeah.
just some of the things that you were talking about. There are times I'm very grateful for that, the ability I have to be on my own and be. It doesn't always mean having to go out and be crazy or anything like that. There are times where it's so wonderful actually to just have a night at home alone, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful in the friends that I have formed and the close friendships that I've been able to make, and the ability to be so much more vulnerable than I ever felt I could in my life.
Yes.
I'm grateful that I have the love and the support of my family, as difficult as it has been at times, that uh, they are there for me. I am there for them. There are some fundamental things that don't change around that.
Yes.
Um, I don't lose sight of that. I'm grateful for just the ability, if that's the right word here, to just be me, authentic,
Yes.
whole,
Yes. Yes.
not hiding.
Yes. Yes. I am grateful that my children get to see this me. I am grateful to be able to
Mm-hmm.
share who I am with my kids. A couple weeks ago, I was with my son, and my ex texted me afterwards, and she's like, "Oh, one of my boys just notices such a difference in you, in my relationship with him, my softness with him, the fact that I don't, I'm not drenched in anxiety or just whatever it is." Obviously, this isn't new for me because I've been working on this for the last 5 years. But over the last couple of years, I've noticed a huge shift in myself. And
Yeah,
I'm so glad I get to share this version of me with my kids. They get to see this,
yeah,
my truth.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Mm,
Couldn't agree more. Love that.
yes.
Indeed. Well, this is probably a good note to start wrapping up on. What do you think?
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Mark. I always have
So,
such a great time talking to you, doing this podcast with you. Again, so
me
many
too.
people tell us that they get so much from this. I feel lucky because I also feel like I get so much from this.
Me too. Absolutely. And, as we move headlong into the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's season, we know that it can be joyful, challenging, terrible, uh, sometimes all of those at the same time for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think
Yes.
for me, it's just a constant reminder of the community here and the support and um, being able to have others to reach out to. And I hope that everybody and all of our listeners have some of that as well, and know that
Yeah.
there are others that are going through similar things, and it's okay to not have it all figured out.
Yes. And we talk about on our Facebook groups, the Gay Dads group, the worldwide group, you have a group in your area. People post on there anonymously or they use their names. But if you're somebody who is struggling, you could write into the podcast. We have people that write into us. Mark and I respond to all of our emails lovingly with complete confidentiality. So cominginsideout@gmail.com, and let us know how you're feeling, how you're doing. All right, Mark,
Absolutely.
I love you, man. Have a wonderful day.
Love you too.
All right, we'll